Alright, Circuit of the Americas, or COTA as people call it. New track to the NASCAR world, but it's been around since 2012. But you can see the air temp's a little bit cooler, but I did that to give myself a 116 track temp without having to go through the damn UI and do all that. And why this track temp? Because it's warmer than what Zelensky put down, just a stupid fast lap. But it's cooler than, say, NIS, which is like 130 track temp. So that's why I'm just, going somewhere in the middle. Alright, the truth is I really didn't want to do another lap, so this is what you get. So keys to the race card. Number 1, tires. Like, why do I even bother with that? And number 2 would be, well, there's stupid slow corners. Because you're going from high speed to almost nothing in these cars. And so you get tons of, brake usage out of that. And, more chances for wheel hops. So, all these can be differing factors that contribute to your lap time. And number 3, the biggest point to take away from this is just keep it on track if you're less experienced at this kind of thing. You'll be surprised how far that goes. You can probably get it guaranteed, like top 12 or something, just by keeping it on track, which is not too hard here, but you know what I mean. Don't get DQ'd. There's going to be killer dive bombs, again, because of the corners. And the last thing would be, the track is ass. I hate this place, but somehow, in some way, it's still fun. I just have mixed feelings about it. So we'll get to, pit road, then we'll do the lap. Alright, we're going to make our approach to pit road, which is here on the left. Hard braking down to first gear. Really slow up here, so you can make the corner. Entrance is way down here at the yellow cones. Just made it. Pit road's an eternity, so skip a little bit. You'll see the green cones up here. Sorry, pit crew. And accelerate. Stay on this side of the line. See there on the right. And your turn 1's right here. So there you go. Alright, so here we are, about to take our lap. Like usual, fixed setup. Slightly tweaked fixed weather, because, track them deal. The steering ratio I moved to 12. From 10, that's just preference. And brake bias was 64. That's it. So through this lap, I usually never talk during the time lap. But I gotta interject some gears. I'll tell you what gear I'm in. And you can see here that compared to last week, my view is a little different. Field of view is the same, but I had to move the seat back just because I need to be able to see the left or right or whatever for these hairpins. So if you're going to do that, change your seat position, not the field of view. Alright, so let's do this. This is first gear coming to second. No, second. Third. Second. First. First to second. We're going to stay in second. Still second. Second to third. Second. First. First to second. Second to third. Third to fourth. Third. Second. First. Still first. Keep it first through here. First to second. Still second. First. And first to second. That gave me a 2:13.7. So let me back that up. So let's make our way into turn 1 out of 20. Shifting from first to second. I'll put a little gear indicator right now. And let's do it. First to second, obviously. And then third by the end of this. And the brake zone is where things get interesting. So I'm looking over here on my left. You see this where the red is? Right here. See where the red is and the white where it meets on the pit exit. When that is out of my view on the A-pillar, that's when I'm on the brakes really hard. 90% or more. You can see it right there, hard on the brakes. And we hold this 90% for a while, so we're going to shift from third to second right there. And second to first for the end of this. Still maintaining that brake pressure. Now you can see the groove. It's kind of making you go this way. Sort of diamonding the corner. I'm kind of ignoring that. And I turn in a little bit later. Then when I turn in first gear, the back wheels are like, 5% of percentage away from braking, from wheel hopping. So to start your turn in where I did, release the brakes slowly to the point you're ready to completely turn in. Trail brake, I guess. Here I try to let it roll. And we're going to accelerate slightly past the apex point. Still in first gear. Use all the track. I'm going to use first gear all the way up until the turn in. All the way till the turn in. You can see I got to play with the throttle. And when I make that right hand movement, the wheels start to spin a little more. I'm going to shift to second. Now here, if you can hook your wheels right on this curb, it actually rotates the car a little better. So keep that in mind. This is all throttle control right here. This entire section. So you can get full throttle for a split second. Alright, so as we're going under this Echo Park, you see that little pyramid curb, which I absolutely hate these little monsters. I'm kind of aiming for that, but you can't really just like chuck it in there. So let me slow-mo this so you can get a better idea. Get as close to it as you can. Actually almost hitting it. Barely tapped it there. Use the brakes pretty much all through the section once you get it pointed. So you can see once I make that turn in, I hit the brakes a little bit here to make sure I have the speed necessary to turn. And I'm letting it roll. On my approach to the right one, I'm on the brakes again. And I hold it a little bit longer, which overslows the car. But there's a technique to that, which allows you to roll the next. You'll see it right here. We're still in second gear, by the way. Letting it roll through here. Use some throttle to get it to rotate. And to set up this right-hander. Again, like the start of the S's on that right-hander. Using the curb kind of rotates the car. But you kind of got to diamond this one to set up for the next corner. Again, use the throttle for that. Here, it feels like you can open up. But you want to kind of get it over here. So again, throttle control. Once you get it pointed right in the center, hit the brakes. Just a little bit. See how much percentage. Still second. And let it roll through this curb. Apex it, get on the throttle again. Full throttle for a split second. Hard on the brakes one more time. About 60%. Get it again close to the curb. Helps rotate the car. Which also sets you up for this next corner. And you can lose like 4/10 right here. Just by butchering the corner. So you want to have sort of that same exact entrance. So you're going to lift here to make the setup for the left-hander. And second gear, you're going to use all the track with some throttle control. Because it's just, that's like the theme of the track. And here's a little tricky part we're aiming for a corner that's right here, but you can't really see it until you're on it. And you want your left wheel's chest over into that red. Any more, it'll count as an off track. Any less, and it'll go way out. And during this turn, I'm shifting from second to third, which I already did. Now here's another hard brake zone. I'm sort of using the start of the curb and this red and actually this little line here on the red and the shadow of the thing above. I'm using all that to tell me my brake zone, which is crossing right over that white line. You'll see right here, hard onto the brakes. Again, 90 plus percentage. Hard on the brakes from second, third to second, second to first. And here again, we're not following the rubber groove, like, you know, religiously. Not following it. And we're going to turn in like a normal apex corner. See how it's hard on the brake still? I already turned in. I should be rolling at this point, but I kind of overdrove it. Once you get it pointed, get on the throttle again. Can't really smash it. First gear to second. And second to third. All down this back stretch. Then third to fourth. Right at the end of it here. And again, like the other hairpins, I'm sort of looking at this curb again. Alright, this is probably the hardest brake zone of all of them. Just because the speed's much higher. And you're downshifting one extra time. So, yeah, I start braking as I'm touching the curbing. So let me get hard on the brakes right here. 90 plus percentage again, because it's like the maximum the brakes can do. Fourth to third, third to second, and second to first. Again, ignoring the thing. Though you can follow a little more here. Slow it down to a measly 40 miles per hour. Do the usual apex, throttle, control first gear. Hold first gear all the way till here, which I cannot give a guideline of where to brake. Now that I look at it, the end of the red over here on the left side to where it transitions to the green runoff, that's where I'm on the brakes. In first gear, relatively hard, not too bad. Again, once you get it pointed in, let it roll if you can. First gear all through this entire section, so follow the same exact route. Kind of follow the groove. Really slow up because this corner is kind of important that it rolls. As in no throttle or brake. Use all the track, first gear, second. Here you want to keep it as close to the inside and try to, I guess, stay in the throttle as much as you possibly can while going through here. You can see that's why I'm fighting the car. Which sets us up for this corner, which I'm pointing right to the middle of this entire curbing. You know, once I touch that, then I start turning in. Right here, hold the brakes a little to make sure it slows down because this left-hander's weird. Pretty much use all that room to the apex of the corner. Once it's there, start accelerating. The reason why I about wrecked there, it can give you a 1x. So try not to do that. I think it actually did give me one, but I wasn't going to redo the lap. So we're still in second gear. We're going to go down to first, which I'm braking again to start of this curbing. And under this little banner, hard braking from second to first gear. You may want to wait on that first gear to prevent wheel hop, but same thing as all the other corners. Set up the traditional turn in. Once it turns in, let it roll. Once it hits the apex, accelerate. We're in first gear, so that should get you to the line. And there you go. Alright, that's going to be it. I mean, it felt like a long track guide. Just because of all the corners and all the trying to figure out stuff while I'm explaining it to you, which is kind of odd, but we'll probably be back at another boring 1.5 miler. That's the case, you may or may not see me, so yeah, I'll probably do a video here tomorrow or something that has to do with this road course stuff. Anyway, sim racing Chewy side.